I think what's important to know, first of all, is this was not my first career. This is my third career, and this one seemed to stick. It's been 25 years that we just celebrated having Coffee by Design. During the recession in Maine, my partner and I flipped a coin, landed in Seattle. It was the 1980s, and something was going on with specialty coffee. And so we had to make a decision about, do we move back to Maine at some point, or has Seattle become home? And we kept talking about, why doesn't someone do something about the economy in downtown Portland? Why is there still a 40% vacancy rate? And we would go back and visit, and it just got worse and worse. And it was sort of this light bulb moment of who exactly are they that we keep referring to? Who are these they? And where do you want to be that you consider home? But the idea was, a love of coffee and a beverage that is really enjoyable, but really observing. It brings people together. And fascinated by historically how coffee houses bring people together to discuss current issues. So it almost was all of these pieces. And coming up with the name Coffee by Design was really important for us because it was about coffee, but it was about the art of coffee, and unique and one of a kind and make just for you, but very much be a locally owned business, which has always been the mission and still is. If you stop at no, you're not an entrepreneur. If you're not an idea person, you're not an entrepreneur. If you're someone who isn't willing to risk, I can't pay my rent this month because I have to do that for the business, you're not an entrepreneur. We slept on the shelving in the basement at our store. We were working so many hours and just decided, why even bother going home? And that really it takes that you're willing to give up anything because you so believe in your idea. And I've actually found over the years, every time we've grown the company or opened a new location, almost all of our locations are in neighborhoods that have been long forgotten. And we reached a point when people said, only crazy people would move there. We're like, that's the neighborhood. That's where we belong. That's, people don't realize there are people who live there, there are communities there. And just having someone come and show that we care and we're going to invest in your neighborhood, and guess what, the door's open and you can come on in and share with us. I think that, and it's grown exponentially, but is my original vision of that coffee can change the world one cup at a time. It is so much deeper than that. It started out as, how do you bring back a local community? How do you really bring a downtown back? And then it sort of went to coffee origin countries, because we do roast our own coffee, and started to travel. And you get really invested in these communities and realize you don't want it just to be a transaction. That's part of it, but it's a matter of how do you go deeper. I say all the time, it's about trade, not aid. We want to help people, but we want to help raise the quality of living, but that means working really closely with people.